And three, two, one. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Guys, if you're in Ireland at the moment, are you noticing that the spring is coming? Oh, it's such a relief, isn't it? Jesus. Now, to be fair, we didn't have that bad of a winter, did we, though? There's been some cold nights. Oh, Jesus. So, guys, if you're actually listening in the States, Canada, Germany, Australia, well, geez, I tell you, in the UK, yeah, it hasn't been actually that bad. So if you're coming to Ireland, last summer we had a 30-degree day. And believe me, lads, if you've never been to Ireland and you're coming, 30 degrees for us is, it's unheard of. It genuinely is unheard of. We don't get that. In fact, I think 30 degrees, now don't quote me on this, but I think 30 degrees is actually our best we've ever had. Funnily enough, in Cork anyway, that's where I'm from, right down south. And, oh, guys, it's Jesus. So, you know what? I'm rubbing my hands together. It's fucking awesome. I can't wait for the summer. I think we're going to have some good weather here, lads. And come here, if you're traveling to Ireland, you got to get here, guys, because Ireland in the summer is amazing. Amazing. Did that sound really creepy? Oh, Jesus. I'll be kicked off Spotify and Apple and Google. Oh, God. All right, okay. So anyway, you know what I want to talk about today? I want to actually talk about, and hopefully I can relate to some of you guys with this because many of you know I was a race driver before, and I want to talk about the healthy diet that people have to go on as an athlete, racing driver, athlete. And hopefully I can help you guys because I'm not a personal coach, right? And let's be honest, most of them are full of shit anyway, right? They don't have a clue what they're doing. It was amazing, even when I was back in the days. And here's where I'm going to try and help you guys. And but by the way, I'm no expert on this stuff, but I do know when it comes to racing and healthy diets what you need to do, right? And you need to base a healthy diet off what your body can take. Number one on your list before you lift any weights, before you get on any running machine, before you eat any salads, before you eat any pastas, number one on your list you need to do is get an allergy test. That is what I would recommend to anyone out there. Like my mum, she is so great with healthy foods, homeopathic remedies. She's amazing. I mean, unbelievable. And when I was 15, that's when I really started to get into the healthy diet for racing now. And guys, hopefully I can help, like I was saying, hopefully I can help you now sort of give you my experience of what I needed to do to get into good shape. So when I was racing in England, that was my first year racing out, really taking a healthy diet. Now guys, when I was 15, I was, as you imagine, you're 15 years of age, right? You can eat fucking anything and get away with it, right? And you can wake up the next morning fresh as a daisy, off you go, bang, okay? So at that age, I still had to go on a good, proper, healthy diet to get myself in good shape because it's no joke racing these cars. It's no joke because you're up against G-force. And I can tell you this, guys, I'm not biased to racing drivers. I can tell you this as a fact. Racing drivers are one of the most fittest athletes in the world. Okay? And I'll tell you why. The main thing is battling against G-force. You're battling against natural gravity. You're battling against nature. Right? And if your body can take that, it can take anything. Believe me, racing drivers are one of the fittest out there. If you're battling against G-force, you're way ahead of the game against a lot of athletes. So when I was racing at 15, I had to go on this healthy diet, right? And my mum recommended me to go on porridge in the morning, right? Which was okay. That was tough to get used to. And then, during the day I was kind of eating rolls, like just a plain ham and butter roll and things like that. Now, I'm a plain eater, right? But still, I'd have my roll, right? Which I liked. Then I'd have maybe steak during the night and vegetables. And I was cooking all this on my own over in England. At 15, believe it or not. I know, can you imagine that, cooking this shit at 15? Ugh. There was no one to cook for me. So believe me, I had to do all this on my own. But hey, no bitching, because that's what you sign up for. So, all of a sudden I was testing in the car. And like, as a 15-year-old, I still wasn't fully committed now, right? As much as I should be. I was still having a bit of junk food here and there, and pizza here and there, and like a pint of milk and here and there, right? Now, you might think pint of milk is nothing, but wait for this. So all of a sudden, my concentration wasn't there in the car. I was actually quite anxious a lot of the time, right? It wasn't that I was anxious of racing. I was just on edge in general. Like, even when I wasn't racing or testing in a car, it just wasn't me, right? Now I'm thinking to myself, fuck, what's wrong with me? I'm eating all this healthy food. What's going on? Like, Jesus Christ, right? And like, guys, having a roll, having a porridge in the morning, having a steak and veg and, a pizza every now and then sounds all right, yeah? No, and by the way, guys, this would be repetitive. Every single day I'd be having the same thing over and over again, right? So having the odd junk food here and there, you're going to think, right, it's not much, right? You're 15 years of age, you burn it off, bang, no problem. So all of a sudden I actually made a couple of mistakes. I was crashing the car a bit because my concentration was gone off, and I was like, okay, something's got to be up here. And then, now, this is actually, in a way, God bless my racing team for being dramatic, because they genuinely were dramatic a bit, right? Because they were like, oh, maybe you're anemic, and maybe you're this and you're that, and blah, blah, right? Now, yes, I was making mistakes. Now, I think it was a bit of inexperience too, but definitely, if I had the concentration, being healthy, I would have had less mistakes, right? So the team said, geez, maybe you should get your bloods tested and stuff like that. So eventually, I think it was about a couple of days after I had a big accident now in the racing. And I went home to Ireland, and I had a good sit down with my mum, and she goes, well, look, love, let's get you an allergy test. And I went, really, Mum? Kind of sounds a bit weird, but all right. So when I took it on board, because, well, she's brilliant with the stuff. So we went down for an allergy test. Now, again, guys, I'm a 15-year-old kid, right? I go in, and I'm taking all these allergy tests. So, like, you're sitting there, and you're holding this, like a sort of a metal bar in your hand, or the palm of your hand, right? And as far as I remember now, but, they've got all the different types of foods, right? The ingredients like wheat, yeast, tomato, cheese, right? All milk, dairy products, all these little tubes. So basically, as you're holding this little silver thing in your hand, I think, as far as I remember, you've got to like clench your fist, right, to see how much strength, and it gauges then how much strength you have in your fist, right? So don't quote me exactly, but it comes up with a number reading, right? Like, 10 out of 10 for strength or whatever, right? But then all of a sudden you hold the dairy product tube in your hand, and then you squeeze your hand, and then all of a sudden it gives you a reading, and it could come up with like 2 or 3 out of 10, right? So in other words, if it's really low, then you've got an allergy. Something like this. Now again, guys, look, this is way back, right? So, so all of a sudden I came out of this fucking allergy test exam, or well, whatever you want to call it, and I ended up being allergic to dairy, wheat, yeast, tomato, pretty much every fucking ingredient in the world, okay? And I mean, it was a huge shock to the system, because then I really had to up my game with my diet. And I did. I bucked up. Tough shit. Suck it up, bitch. That's the way I looked at it. This is part of the game. You got to do it. So I went on a major diet. So I went from porridge in the morning and I kept porridge. I had porridge in the morning. Then I went to porridge and apples and bananas. Right? So I just added in extra, because porridge was okay. It was still a bit filling. Now, I had to get this... I can't remember the name, but I had to get the special organic porridge, which was tough to eat, guys, believe me. But the apples and bananas were good energy, nice light energy, and it keeps you consistently going during the day. So then I went from that to organic pasta during the day at lunchtime. So I'd basically cook this yellow organic stuff. No salt, no ingredients, no sugars, no tomato sauce, nothing. Plain organic pasta. Which was, by the way, as a 15-year-old, that's one fucking hard pill to swallow, let me tell you. Really hard pill to swallow. But it's amazing actually how healthy you feel after it and how much I got used to it. Then I did stick on my, thank God, I had still my steak at night, followed by vegetables, which was grand. I was used to that at least. And like I had to cut out pizza. When I was drinking, because look, hey, I'm Irish and I used to like having my couple of pints with the lads and stuff. I had to go from drinking Heineken and Carlsberg to cider because that was the least effect it had on me. Cider was, and also I could drink vodka as well, and rums and stuff like that, right? Because again, no wheat, no yeast, and after about a month, guys, I'm sorry, excuse me, guys. After about a month, the difference in me was insane because because it was consistently doing it every single day. That was the key. Okay, the key was healthy food, but on a consistent basis. There's no point of eating healthy food for one day, then going to your junk food the next, then the next day's healthy food, then followed by junk food the next, like every second day. Pointless. It was the consistency of doing it every single day. That's all. That was the key. That was the most important because the energy built up, the immune system built up. Now then, what you need to do is you need to flip it around. Right? What you need to do then is actually start eating shit where your body actually, because you don't want your body to get completely used to healthy food all the time because you need to have some bacteria in your body anyway to fight off the bad stuff that you've built up. So what I realize is that you need to have the healthy food in you, and after the first week and a half, you're building up the tolerance for this healthy food. Give it about a month, and then after the month, then you start having your treats, right? Which the allergy food, and I mean, by the way, guys, not to just have it. Obviously, we all want to taste it because it tastes gorgeous, but on purpose, I was taking this food because I needed to kickstart the immune system again, kickstart the healthy vitamins in my body to fight off bacteria in my body, which therefore makes the healthy food and your body stronger. It's like anything. It's like if you get used to, let me see, it's like getting the flu, right? If you haven't had the flu for a couple of years, people go, oh, geez, you're very healthy, aren't you? Well, not necessarily, because you also need to get, let's say, like the flu shot, right? Because then your body knows when it comes around, it's going to fight the flu. So you need to have the fight, the inner fight with your body. It needs to defend. Defend is in the... You build up the body with the vitamins and healthy food. Then you need to go on the attack. And then that actually gets you stronger, right? So, guys, if you are looking at a diet, like racing drivers, we had to go through, even back in my day, and it's getting more intense now these days, to be fair. Excuse me. Like we had to go through, I had to go through minimum an hour of jogging or running a day, followed by weights. Now, as a racing driver, you need to be as light as you can and have really quick reactions. So actually what you're doing in a racing car is you're going for the light reaction. So you're lifting light weights. Now, depending on the driver too, you see, you got to find what suits you. And again, this is kind of going back to the allergy tests, right? Number one, guys, you get an allergy test in first. See what agrees with you, because you might be allergic to pasta and you love pasta, but you could replace that with something better, right? It's scary how many people out there have never ever actually tested to see if they're allergic to this or that or this or that. And I understand it too. You enjoy food, you want to bury your head in the sand, fuck it. You know, in fact, if I wasn't ever racing, would I have ever gone for an allergy test? Well, it's not that I would have buried my head in the sand. I just wouldn't have thought about it, to be honest. It wouldn't have been on my radar, like, to ever do that. Do you know what I mean? And so I honestly, guys, number one, find out what you're allergic to and you work from there. And if you want to get healthy, how healthy do you want to get? Like, I had a resting heart rate of 48, which is really fucking good back in the day, right? Like Michael Schumacher, which one of the fittest guys on the planet, had 42. Now, I didn't do the intense workouts he did, because I wasn't in the Formula 1 category, and you'd need to work harder for that. But I was close enough. I was bloody close enough. My health was amazing back in the day, you know? And I think so really what it's all about is working out what exactly you want. There's no right or fucking wrong way to eat. Most important, the key, like I said, I'm repeating this over and over again, is that you need to find out what you're allergic to and you're not allergic to. Then write out a list. What you know with it. Okay, right, you take your allergy test, right. Okay, this is what I like to eat. These are my favorite foods. What am I allergic to? Okay, cross that off the fucking list. Bang, 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 bang. Right? And then find out what you'd like to eat. And if you're not allergic to it, well then add it to the list. It's really simple. Really fucking simple. And you know what? Allergies to food, they'll make your skin bloat. You'll actually feel bigger, right? You might put on some weight because your body can't take it and it doesn't know what to do with it. It's almost like you're overwhelming and shocking your body, you know? And, you know, guys, believe me, I do know what I'm talking about. It doesn't mean I'm right for everybody. You've got to find a diet. Like, for instance, Jordan Peterson, right? He was on Joe Rogan there only. I was watching it there, fascinated by that one. He went, like, he said he suffered from a lot of depression. And, you know, he found it hard to get out of bed sometimes. This is all on Joe Rogan on YouTube. You can watch this. And so, by the way, don't quote me if I'm getting one or two things wrong. But basically, he went to, I think he called it the carnivore diet. So he was basically eating just meat and green vegetables. And all of a sudden, he used to snore at night. He doesn't anymore. He's sleeping great. He wakes up feeling great. Right now, a lot of people out there are saying to you, oh, well, no, you shouldn't be eating red meat, this and that. But you know what? Tell those people to F off, right? Like, listen to your body. I know I'm allergic to pretty much most fucking foods, right? I am, like, and I'm unlucky this way. But there's a big advantage too, because at least I know what I can eat, right? I haven't stuck my head in the sand. I know exactly what I'm dealing with every time I put a pizza in my mouth, even if I'm allergic to it, or if I'm putting the right stuff in. Listen to your body. Your body will tell you. You know? And I think that's what really important to figure out what you're allergic to, because you could be so used to eating junk food that your body you don't even know the difference between something that you're not allergic to and what you're allergic to. Okay? So, like, that's a good experiment to do. Do the before and after, right? If you're allergic to cheese and tomato. Oh, that was another one I was allergic to, cheese. If you're allergic to cheese and tomato, in other words, on a pizza, eat your slice of pizza. Okay, how do I feel? Do I feel tired? Right, okay. Go on your new diet. Cut out the pizza for a few weeks. Minimum a few weeks if you can. I know it's hard. Don't get me wrong. And then see the difference, right? Then you revisit pizza and go, right, you know what now? Now I'm going to see what the pizza tastes like. You'd be amazed, actually, guys, how different the pizza will taste after a few weeks of going on a healthy diet. You'd be like, huh, that actually wasn't as nice as I thought. It's amazing. And I'm sure there's loads of you out there, if you're listening to this, you can relate to this. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You know? But you need to do process of elimination, and don't listen to all these fucking personal trainers. Like, I got somebody who was very good at racing, car racing fitness. Okay, eventually when I was going up the ladders, got some really good advice. And you know, and before that, I was going to these quote personal fucking trainers and gyms. They didn't have a clue what they were doing. They didn't have a clue what they were talking about. And believe me, I'm no expert, but I fucking knew a hell of a lot more than they do, and I still do these days. Number one on your list before you lift any weight, any diet, get an allergy test done. You could be shocked at what you're allergic to. Like really stunned what you're about to see. And hopefully if you're lucky, you don't. You know? Yeah, so guys, look, I hope that was informational on diets. And believe me, guys, you know, racing cars, you need to have as much energy as you can. So, because you're battling against G-force, like you're battling against nature, gravity. You know, and it's no easy task. It's no easy task. So, guys, listen, thanks for listening. I'll see you again. Bye-bye.